What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Night Owl channel. In this video, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 moments within the Dynasty Warriors series. And we're going to do each game individually and start off with Dynasty Warriors 3 and move all the way up until Dynasty Warriors 9. Dynasty Warriors is a franchise that's loved by many, and I think that what draws us to the game is not just the characters and the story and everything like that, but the moments that each character represents within the games and those specific moments in general that make us remember the game for what it was, triggering that nostalgia, or even in the newer game in Dynasty Warriors 9, depicting new ways of retelling this story over and over again and keeping us coming back to wanting to play the game over and over again. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the top 10 moments within the first real Dynasty Warriors game, Dynasty Warriors 3. And the top 10 moments that personally stood out for me, Dynasty Warriors 3 is a game that I started with, so I have a lot of nostalgia built with this game. And for me, these are the top 10 moments that stick out to me the most when I think about Dynasty Warriors 3. Let's go ahead and start off with number 10.
Destroy those people who have killed my lord! Ha! Let us fight!
Alright, starting off at number 10, the Battle of Mount Dingjun. A smaller map for the game, one of the smaller maps. Definitely a fun stage, and I always fondly remember Huang Zhang cocking back his arrows, shooting it, killing the guy behind Xiahou Yuan. He turns around, and that's a moment that always stuck out to me. It's a map that also stood out as well because it was slanted, so I think if you were the wayside and you went up the little hill, you would slow down, versus if you were going down, you would go really fast, hit the spikes, everything like that. Just compact into a real nice moment for me, seeing two characters really going at it. But yeah, Mount Dingjun's cutscene, Huang Zhang versus Xiahou Yuan. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
We have finally come this far.
Yes, though it was for the benefit of the land, I have involved far, far too many innocent people. But it was solely for this very moment. Oh, my beloved people, lend me your strength!
Alright, coming in at number 9, definitely a visual memory, definitely a visual moment. Zhuge Liang preparing for the Battle of Wu Zhang. He has his little speech, he puts his fan in the air, and he calls upon the strength of his people, and all the green lights come on, really emphasizing the magic ability that Zhuge Liang is really built to be within the game. And this moment stands out for me a lot. You know, the close-up on Zhuge's face, they zoom out, and then the swirls of green light comes in, representing the Shu Kingdom, and just, you know, it's a lot of nostalgia with me. That's what I think about when I was making this list. Is what do I hear when I think of Dynasty Warriors 3? What are the moments I see and hear? Battle of Wu Zhang, Shu's pre-cutscene for that battle is going to be a good choice for me at number 9. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Zhuge Liang is getting worried. He's trying to speed things up.
The last twinkle of a dying flame is beautiful. Shall he die beautifully?
We shall smother the flames of war and bring peace. Then, we can say that we have perfected the art of war.
Today, Shu dies. Attack!
Alright, coming in at number 8, staying on the top of Wu Zhang. I mean, this is more stuck in my head or more memorable than that of Zhuge because Sima Yi's arrogance, and then Zhang He has his moment, Xu Huang, you know, flipping his axe really quick, getting everybody squared away, ready to go. And then they turn the camera around and you see just an army of like the lieutenant in the game, the officers, and they all just put their swords together. It looks like a pretty badass scene. This one's a little bit more nostalgic to me, a little bit more memorable. And I think it's a bigger moment because it's like Sima Yi's passion behind it, a little bit of an arrogance, you know, you can see the little smile that he's, the smirk that he has, that he's going against Zhuge Liang. And for me, I think it's a great choice personally for me at number 8. Battle of Wu Zhang now on the Wei side. I think it's a little bit more memorable to me than Shu's side.
Brother, let's go.
It's finally time.
Yes.
The rats are gathering.
Don't be so hasty.
Alright, coming in at number 7. It's hard to really not include this because of what you see every time you load up a Musamu. Most of the the characters go through the Yellow Turban Rebellion, so you see this moment so much. And it's also a good moment because it represents, or it shows, every kingdom. Liu Bei and his brothers, you got Sun Jian on the boat with Huang Gai, you got Cao Cao and his right-hand man coming out and exchange a few words, and then the Yellow Turbans are just chasing after you, which is followed by a legendary map and stage that I fondly remember, and I think a lot of the Dynasty Warriors fans from back then remember as well. So number 7, the Yellow Turban pre-cutscene is definitely one that stuck out for me, and I think it's a good choice here at number 7.
Hey, Council! Is our strategy agreed upon?
Enough. Cheap tricks won't work at this point. We must believe in Wu's power. Win or lose, this is the end!
Alright, coming in at number 6, we have a pretty badass scene. You just saw Gan Ning and Lu Man kind of practicing. Lu Xun walks up. This is it. This is the moment. He like lifts his sword up, cuts the paper in half. Pretty significant moment. Definitely one that I remember fondly. When I did Lu Xun's character, analysis video, that was one of the first things I thought for him. Just hearing that voice and then just watching the fight scene as a little kid, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. Get you hyped up for the stage. And then the Hefei Castle stage itself is pretty memorable. Very, very fun stage. Very big. The climax of the series for the Wei and the Wu team. A lot of nostalgia with watching that cutscene, hearing his voice. It was definitely a stage similar to Wu Zhang where it was a tough stage that you really had to work through, and it's just a lot of fun. Definitely one of the bigger moments for me in the game, and I think that really encapsulated the earlier badassery of the Dynasty Warriors series, and that's why it's going to be up here at number 6.
The Shu army has encamped on the banks of Changjiang.
It's time. Spread the word. At midnight, we move to the river to face the Shu army.
Yes.
This battle shall surely decide the fate of Shu and Wu.
Alright, jumping into the top 5. Alright, so this might be a little controversial. You know, you guys let me know down below. But I have the Yi-Ling pre-cutscene with Lu Xun saying, "Spread the word." That is an iconic line that I hear constantly within this series throughout that game, because as a kid I grew up also watching a movie called The Warriors, and I also played the PlayStation version of the movie. I think there's a line within the movie where the woman is announcing that the Warriors are a target, you know, spread the word. And it kind of had that same vibe, right? Lu Xun, spread the word, right? And he just has that majestic scenery about it. He's got the river in front of him, the sunset. Just a very impactful moment, very nostalgic moment for me. I think it was one of the best moments within the game, and just the line itself is what carried it for me. You know, that line in itself just made it stick out to me so much more. I knew it had to be on my list somewhere. I think number 5 is a really solid choice for me just because of how memorable that line is. And Yi-Ling, again, being a very big map and good stage, pretty fun. It's a very difficult one as well to get through, especially if you don't get the fire attack to go according to plan and everything like that. But it's a pretty good scene. I liked it. One of the more memorable ones for me. And I think it's a great choice to start off the top 5.
Don't put on airs.
Zhuge Liang. The wind!
Alright, coming in at number 4, piggybacking off of the reasons for number 5, I mean, the wind, I mean, that is just a iconic and nostalgic line. The stage Chibi is so big, a lot of things happen in that stage for this game, and it was just memorable. I mean, the setup for it, Zhuge Liang calling for the wind, they put so much emphasis on this plan, right? Calling forth the wind, that it just stuck to me as a kid that that's what I need to do. Alright, what I gotta do? The wind? What I gotta do? So, you know, every time I see that cutscene, Huang Gai loading the boats, you know, looks up at Zhou Yu. He looks so majestic, very composed. I mean, he just looked very like focused. I don't know what the word is, but he looks a certain way. If the camera pans, we're looking up in the sky. The wind. I mean, it's just one of those very nostalgic moments for me, and I've always had that stuck in my head for a while. You know, that's one that sticks out for me with this game. And Chibi being one of the biggest battles of the time, I think they do it justice in Dynasty Warriors 3 with that moment. One of the biggest moments for me, the Allied Forces pre-cutscene to Chibi, coming in at number 4. Go ahead and move on to the top 3.
I've got you now, Taishi Sing! Wait! He's hurt. There's no need to pursue.
I still have so far to go.
Alright, coming in at number 3, I'm kind of piggybacking off of number 10 a little bit, because I wanted to include Xiahou Yuan's, like, death. Because a death scene is pretty interesting, right? They don't show any blood or anything like that, but it was pretty, impactful to say the least. Watching him get riddled with arrows, right? They don't show it, right? It's all implied, right? It's all implied he's getting shot, and then they cut to Taishi C, and he's slouching on the horse. The horse has got arrows in him, Taishi C's got arrows all over him, and he kind of just slumps over, and he, you know, you get the impression that he dies while he's on the horse. I mean, it's a pretty nostalgic scene, definitely one of the biggest moments within the game. You're like, whoa, holy crap, shit's getting real kind of thing. It's definitely one of those moments that always stuck out to me as a kid, just watching that and being like, man, he died like a warrior. He died like, you know, a hero, and it's always a moment that stuck out to me within that game. I think it's a really good choice at number 3. Just any of the death scenes within the series is going to have an impact, and I think they did a good job with that early on with Taishi C's death. Buffet was definitely a fun stage, definitely really fun to play through. A lot of moments in that as well, but I think Taishi C dying and getting, you know, riddled with arrows in that stage definitely is one of the top moments from this game, and that's why it comes in at number 3.
I never thought they'd get this far. Lu Jun, this will teach you to treat me like a kid. I can see it now.
Alright, coming in at number 2, I mean, you cannot say that this was not a big moment for this game. I think it's like the only game that has blood, like the only cutscene that I've seen where they have blood, you know, show. And I thought it was awesome. Like, Sima Yi, you know, the bad attribute like I talked about in his analysis video, and just everybody who's fans of the series knows what Sima Yi stands for. Him just, you know, kind of eyeballing this arrow coming straight for his face. He just dead ass looks at it, stares it in the face, lets it cut his cheek, and the blood kind of drips down, and he still has that smirk, that little bit of arrogance with it. Like, I see it now, right? That line, that moment, you know, you look on it, he's looking onto the battlefield. It's just chaos. People are fighting one-on-one. It kind of emulates the actual in-game fighting as well. You're fighting a few people at once, and it's pretty tough. You gotta be careful, right? So, you know, they're killing a bunch of people. Lucian looks up. He directs the archer to look at him, shoots it, and again, Sima just dead ass looking at this arrow like it's nothing. He doesn't give a crap. He does not care. It's coming straight at his face, cuts his cheek, the blood drips down, and he still has that arrogance about him, like he's ready to go to battle. And it just makes you want to play. You know, Huffei Castle again, like we mentioned it for you know, the number 6 one, coming in number 2, pre-Huffei Castle battle on the wayside. I mean, it's pretty badass. It really hyped me up to want to play the stage, and a lot of good moments, a lot of good memories from that. And I think this is one of the best moments within that game. Just seeing that, I don't think they ever show something like that ever again. I don't think there's a blood scene or anything like that ever. Death scenes definitely come and go, and they do a great job in the future, which we'll talk about in the later videos. But this is a very big moment within the series, and it's one of my favorites. Coming in number 2, it's a no-brainer for me. All right, before we move on to the number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions that did not make the list.
The time for talk is over. Now we can move on to the planning.
Zhuge Liang, Zhou Yu, your fate must end here!
So, was the enemy camp pretty?
What? It was normal, I suppose.
Brother Dune, I leave the rest to you. Damn Liu Biao! You shall pay for my father's death! Ah!
It's Lu Bu!
Ah! Get out of my way!
Alright, coming in at number 1, dare I say, this is one of the best Lu Bu entrances ever. I mean, there is no more of a better entrance than the way he enters in Dynasty Warriors 3. I mean, you have the shock value, you have the explosiveness, the violence, the power, right? Everything is emulated within this scene so perfectly for Lu Bu of what he represents within the series, and I think it encapsulates him perfectly as a character. You got people running forward and stopping in their you know, stuttering, befuddled. He barely finishes his line. Lu Bu smacks him, starts killing people. Get out of my way, right? This is the moment that sticks out to me all the time. When I was going through my character analysis series and, you know, I had to play through Hu Lao quite a bit of times, I made sure to go around Lu Bu. Unless I was playing somebody already maxed out, right? If I was playing like Zhao Yun, then I would, you know, potentially go fight him and kill him and everything like that. But if I was playing someone I hadn't really played yet, I would find a way to go around him, leave him alone, and just keep on going. I don't gotta fight Lu Bu. I just gotta go straight to Dong Zhuo, man. I don't gotta deal with it. But definitely, 100%, the number 1 moment from Dynasty Warriors 3 is Lu Bu's arrival. I mean, how can it not be? It's such a iconic scene, such an iconic moment for the series. And those who started out with this game definitely probably have a very imprinted memory of this moment, because this established Lu Bu to who he was. And then when they picked up the next game, whichever game it was, they knew who Lu Bu was, right? They were going to see what happened. Okay, I'm at Hu Lao again. What's going to happen this time? How is he going to appear? I think Dynasty Warriors 3 is probably, if not the best, it's definitely one of the best entrances for Lu Bu, and that's why it's up here at number 1. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the video, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the top 10 or 20 moments for each game. Some of the moments, there was a lot, alright? So Dynasty Warriors 3 was sparing, right? Cutscenes were smaller, not much, but when we get to like Dynasty Warriors 5 and some of the later games, they have a lot of good moments, right? As much as we dislike some of the games when they come out or whatever it may be, some of the moments within these games are really, really good, and I want to highlight each of them for each of the games, and we're going to be doing that for each game moving forward. board. But starting off with Dynasty Warriors 3, these are my top 10 picks. Dynasty Warriors 3 was the game that I started out with. And for me, it's always going to be a nostalgic game for me because it represents so much. Why do you think I had so many honorable mentions? Because I was trying to find a way to include the things that I wanted for this game to represent what it meant to me, right? What the moments from this game meant to me and why I'm a Dynasty Warriors fan. So, but yeah, guys, that's all I really have for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if, what's your guys' best moments from the game if you've played it. If not, let me know in the other videos when you watch them what your biggest moments are. But that's all I have, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.